so with death penalty in Paraguay.
Yes.
We have Gilda with Spazio Progetto Bambinopoli. We have Sante Basolini, Right to Life, Lost or Conquered Abortion Consequences. The women's employment in southern Italy.
Judgment Belgium. Judgment Belgium.
Questa è Martina? Non c'è.
No, non era.
Your name
Oh,
is?
sorry. La Camera, Luana.
That's okay. Luana la Camera, però Lena with women's rights in Saudi Arabia. And you can already see. But what happened to the other? It's the other group, maybe. And then we have Luana with Migration, Judgment Belgium, and Civil Guerras case. You can notice that there are some correlations between among the different topics. There are some links, and I'm sure we want to start with Juan. If you can give us an overview of your project, the project that you have in mind, and what the motivation you have for this project, to carry out this project.
Okay, first of all, as a lawyer, I am very excited to make this project because this is the most controversial trial in the history of my country. And if we compare like with England, it's going to be like the Jack the Ripper case, or if we compare with USA, it's gonna be the Lizzie Borden case there. In France, there is some investigation, some research of Foucault about parricide. The name is Pierre Rivière, this guy that killed his parents. It's going to be a very big research because it's a very controversial issue. It's death penalty, application of death penalty in underage men. It's the point, like the main point of the main objective of the research is the issue that it never been researched about this case. So it's going to be the first research about Gaston Gadin case.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I think, is the most important thing of the research.
Okay, thank you, Juan. Gilda, in your case, it's an authentic, real project, and very. Tell us about Spazio Progetto.
Allora, my association of Russia, Progetto Bambinopoli, otherwise a cultural. I'm in contact with schools, university, public and private institution. It's my institution. It's mine. I have to improve one to improve.
Gilda, look at me. You don't need to read. Look at me.
Guarda.
Okay.
The new age of tradition, history, present, past. To help children in difficulty. Three exchange their experience and information, drawing, sculpture, poetry, singing, dancing, information, photography and information. Promote association Progetto Bambinopoli promote different and numerous
This is the project.
activity.
This is the project. But what is the aim of this research proposal?
Research proposal Progetto Bambinopoli I have a great interest in childhood.
Childhood.
That is for me mission,
Mhm.
very mission,
Mhm. And
and
what?
my heart.
Mhm. And what do you want to know with this project? What is the objective? Your motivation is you like it. It's a mission. And what do you want to know?
Motivation and mission help children in the world in difficulty.
So not only
tradition,
in Basilicata, but all over the world.
in Italy. And Saturday in Italy, expanding in Italy in
Other regions, expanding to other regions. We will ask you about questions very soon. Sante, in your case, lost or conquered, you wanted to focus on abortion. So somehow different and linked at the same time.
My work is focused on the right to life, in particular on pregnancy interruption and abortion consequences. I considered the different impact of the topic on society, on economy and on religion. The debate in favor of the abortion regards some question like the motivation which the possibility of women to choose for her life. The debate in favor of this point of view is against the law against the abortion because it's considered like a limited violate of the possibility to choice of human being. But nowadays the real debate is on the considered the if embryo is a human life, a human being or not.
We'll stop at this point. We will get to your questions very soon. Lena, Saudi Arabia and women in Saudi Arabia.
I focused on this topic because I wanted to show that women in Saudi Arabia cannot complete their simply daily activities because of their limited rights. And my research proposal is based on two aspects. Firstly, I wanted to show that women in this country are not allowed to drive a car, and it's the only one country in the world to ban women driving. And I try to present that women can't do anything if before they didn't ask their guardians about everything. For example, if they need some medical help, first their man, husband, father, or sometimes even a son must agree with this.
So human rights.
Human rights.
You see the focus. And thank you, Lena. Judgment Belgium. You focused on Silvia Guerra's case, please.
And my topic, my objectives are understand with the effects of the European Union's laws of migration, legal and illegal.
Legal and illegal. Okay.
Okay. I would understand why people confuse the words of migrant and clandestine, and I would to verificate
To verify.
if the word clandestine in Sylvia Guerra's case is correct from Belgium judgment.
Mm-hmm.
I go to study. I'm going to study Sylvia Guerra's case with she is an Italian jobber who is expelled from Belgium, and Belgium eliminate right for she and child of Sylvia. In my work, I study. I analysis the
You
book.
analyze.
For book.
Uh-huh.
Barnia's book say with definition of migrant and clandestine, and he say he study migrant in Italian because Italy want promote right of migrant and of Italian citizen, but Italy has very difficult.
We will stop at this point and we'll get back to Juan. Thank you. Juan, what are your research questions and what kind of answers you want to find? And in terms of research design, what kind of research design you want to adopt?
Okay. First of all, the first question was if he was guilty of the murder of his parents. Second question, what were the crimes that Paraguayan laws?
So you're focusing on a very precise crime.
Yes, the main question if he was under 22 years old when he decided to kill his parents, because the Paraguayan law say that no one that under 22 years could get the death of penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And
Why 22? Why
because that was the civil age
Okay.
of the
Okay.
civil code say if you are under 22 you are minor.
Okay.
Okay, and my first question was if he, because I read the trial, the record, because we found in the archive of the Paraguayan court the original one. It was 90% made by hand, so I have to like write everything in Word, and I found this question that why if he was 18 he got the execution. So I start this research. I found many things. So the main question is, was Gaston Gadin under 22 when he was killed by the state?
Mm-hmm.
And then if he was like minor, why they kill him?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the main question. His age.
So he was
To prove-
prosecuted. He was prosecuted.
Yes, he was executed. To prove that the execution was illegal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So to prove that the execution was illegal, we have to go to Paris. to the National Archive of Paris to get the original born certificate.
Mhm.
So we explain that in the design. We
Mhm.
start with a historical part.
You here. This is what you mentioned.
Yeah.
Historiographical design and a juridical design.
Yeah,
So you.
I made the changes that you recommend me.
That's right.
In this
Thank you for reminding me. Your friend did not remind me. Tell David. I forgot his name. David.
David.
Yes. So David was supposed. So you gave.
I put
Okay,
I
please.
put in the juridical part. I explained that the undeniable proof of our investigation is in France, so we have to make a trip to Paris.
Okay. This is the part that it was a trip to Paris to get this information there, because all the documents are there.
Yes.
And then what happens?
We have to explain the trial records because it's a long story, so I will make a synthesis.
Yeah. No.
The
Little
process,
or
the
nothing.
criminal process start with the police. Then the first instance, second instance, Supreme Court, and till the President of the Republic.
Mhm.
The President could save your life. But in this case, in the first and the second instance, the justice of Paraguay say, okay, you are 18 years old. But when the case arrive in the jury,
Mhm.
the jury say, but in this process, we don't have the original born certificate from Paris.
Mhm.
And his lawyer was a public one.
Mhm.
Say, but the judges of the first of second instance say that we don't need it. No, we need it.
Mhm.
So he got the execution.
Mhm.
So we have to do in 2014
Mhm.
like the thing that they didn't permit to do a Gaston Gadin's lawyer 97
So-
years ago.
If I'm not mistaken, in order to get your findings, you will be using documents, especially.
Yes.
You won't involve any kind of subjects, any typology. No people.
No, because
inter-
it's positive law.
It's, what do you mean?
The law, like the code, say this one because is, for example, one judge. I remember one judge say, the state don't pay us to make justice. They paid us to apply the law.
That's tough.
So it's the criminal law, the constitution, the trial records,
I see.
and
What are your expectations?
to demonstrate that this crime of the state in the last public execution in Paraguay that was in
When
Liga
did this happen? When did it happen?
in 1917,
Ah,
1st of December.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Juan. And we will move to Gilda again. I will put this
Sento
as
morire
an
dopo di voi.
integration.
Bravissimi.
As an integration.
Bravissimi.
Gilda, your questions and your research design. What do you want to? I don't know if you. What do you want to know? What are your questions and what research design you will be adopting?
Question, children. Problem, children have the child methodology research purpose.
Tell us about what questions will you be asking?
Three. How is important to get these children back
To normal life. Number one. And then the
number
second?
two, then is
spaces, you mentioned spaces.
Sì,
to
sì,
create.
spaces, creative spaces for children.
And three?
The book, three, those, these protect, protector children.
Protect the children, but you're also mentioning give job opportunities.
Yes, yes.
Okay, how do you want to answer these three simple but important questions? Are you going to interview somebody? Are you going to read the documents? Are you going to, I don't know, what research design?
Yes, interview a situation, a people, qualified,
Who?
a situation,
Who?
counselor, pedagogue, teacher, school master,
Social
social
maestro, teacher, a
Te-
teacher, an
cioè,
elementary school teacher.
no,
no?
ho trovato
Ok.
così sul cerco di specificare maestro di scuola di casa per essere corretta. Poi nel correttore è ancora meglio, teacher, pardon, teacher. E sociologist.
Or it would be nice to use the
Sabo-
Italian word maestro, to use it. So you want to interview a maestro in, okay. And
Saturday, Italy.
What do you want to ask?
Basilicata.
What do you want to ask these people? What do you want to ask the counselor, the architect?
Counselor, architect,
What do you want to
sociologist.
ask? You want to ask
sì, question and hypothesis. My
Now, do you think? What do you think they will answer? They will say.
Is very very happy and project Spazio, progetto Bambinopoli. Important, recupera maintenance building space.
In this spazio, you have children already?
Matera.
Do you already have children? Yes.
Yes.
How many?
How many?
3, 5, 10?
No.
5.
Five. Long. Time line long.
Ah.
1 years. Building.
No, not the timeline.
Ah.
How many children do you have in the progetto already involved?
Children, school, elementary.
How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? All
Five.
together.
Together.
But how many all together? How many all together? How many children in the project? Project in the future or now? Now. So there are children already in the spazio. In Bambinopoli, are there children?
Help a situation, counselor, towns boys, methodology, Padre Flanagan, town boys, pedagogist.
But my question was very, very simple. Do we have children?
No,
Not yet.
No, very, very simple.
No, the question is simple.
No,
The answer is complicated.
Spazio progetto Bambinopoli.
The children Are there children? Yes.
Yes.
How many? How many?
3.
3 children.
No. Um,
Matera's area. All Matera's area.
Matera
Ah.
in primis. First.
But
First.
all the Matera children go there?
First Matera.
That's okay, Gilda. No, my question was really banal. But anyway, you tell me in Italian maybe in a second. Sante, the research design.
My research design, for my research, I will use both quantitative and qualitative data research. For quantitative, I will use some economic index for the sector of economy, or for the some index for the population growth for the sector of society, and some index in which I can look the increase or the decline of the abortion practice in many countries, and I would
So it will be a contrastive analysis of
yes.
different countries.
And I will
What countries?
in countries different country on religion. In fact,
Okay.
I will need for a plan in which I can look different religion.
Because some
For-
religions do not accept
No.
abortion.
For example, a Protestant and Catholic,
Mhm.
Western country and USA or Canada.
Mhm.
In fact, in Canada there are some law who can
That
that concept the
Can
abortion
limit.
practice.
consent.
Consent.
Okay.
Because in Canada there are most Protestant. For example, in Ireland,
Consent.
for
Okay.
example, in Ireland there aren't the law in favor of abortion.
In Ireland, no.
Only in the rare case of rape, incest, or unwanted pregnancy.
Yeah. So you said that it will be both qualitative and
And
quantitative.
for the qualitative data research, I will interview some the women, Protestant and Catholic, who have practiced the abortion for the and the impact on moral and conscience of this practice, and analyze some sentence of the Court of Justice, and later interview priest and pastor and some politicians for to find a shareable position on the topic.
Thank you, Sante. Your research questions, Lena.
First question: how Guardian restricts the independence of women? I try to find the answer. How big influence men have on women lives, and why other government countries didn't don't try to help these women. For
How
example,
do you want to find answers to these two questions, I
Mhm.
guess, that you have.
I tried to find some interviews with women from Saudi Arabia, and I searched the information, for example, about their protest, because they organized protests for called women to drive, and they recorded the video. And on this video, they were driving a car, and after this, they put these videos on YouTube. But it doesn't. It didn't change the situation. Just king of Saudi Arabia punished this woman, and didn't change anything.
So they knew who the women, who were the women who put the video on YouTube.
Some
were
women.
covered, maybe.
No, they you can see
They
the
can
face
see,
of
yeah.
this woman.
Very brave, yes. But nothing changed.
Nothing. Just this king, because it changed.
What are your hypotheses? What do you hypothesize? What are your expectations of, in terms of findings?
I focused on this topic because I think that it's very important, because for me, in other countries in the world, this situation of women changed a long time ago. That's why I focus on this, because I want another people to see that it's very important to help this woman.
Thank you, thank you. Luana, even in your case, you're research design.
My research design, I'm going to use qualitative and quantitative method. In qualitative method, I will interview Silvia Guerra and the President of Court of Justice European Union, and I would analysis of Belgium's judgment. And in quantitative method, I'm going to interview a student of political science of Belgium and Italian student of first years, and ask if they know the no meaning of clandestine and mirror.
Thank you. Which one did you like most?
I think the Arabian woman's rights, because it's a very big fight since like many years ago. Have some religious stuff, political stuff, moral things.
Thank you, Juan. He picked up yours, so which one would you choose?
About abortion.
Santos, okay. Okay, why?
Because it's a controversial topic, and for me, it sometimes I agree with Santa, because I think that people should decide about their lives. Like he told that about, for example, when one woman was raped, it's something like unfair.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sante. In your case?
Both the research proposal of Gilda and both our research proposal.
Why?
The research proposal of Gilda is very important for a new project of solidarity. It's very important in this course of history, in which we can enforce solidarity with the other. And her research is very important for the impact that have the human right in Islam in general
Yeah.
on society.
Thank you, Sante. Gilda, you picked up yours. Which one did you like?
Research proposal Sante, Luana. Because speaking human rights, solidarity, help.
Thank you.
Children.
In your case,
Abortion.
why?
And because it's a problem because I interest in particularly of influence of church in state in Italy.
Thank you. Sante, one thing that you liked in your self-study program? Something?
Sì.
No, something that you liked.
In my self-study, I have focused my attention on grammar and diction in general. And I watching video of personal presentation and
So if you watch the video, you focused on something different. You watched on.
I watched the video on the personal presentation and on research.
What kind of skills, language skills, did you focus on watching if you watched the oral presentation videos?
Informal.
Yes, but what kind of informal speech? But what kind of language skill? What kind of language skill? If you watch a video with someone talking, what kind of language skill you focus your attention on? You know, how many language skills? What are the language skills? Language skills are 4 or 5 major ones. Hey, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at my colleagues. Because in the Triennale I used to tell, first thing I tell the students, speaking, listening, writing and reading, and interacting, that's the very important thing. So what do you focus on with the video?
The video on listening
It's
and
obviously
comprehension.
listening comprehension.
And in general,
Okay.
writing.
Okay, and then writing when you. Okay, thank you. What did you like of your self-study?
For me, it was a good experience that I had to find some information in some books. So for me, reading, I had to practice reading and translation, and after this I had to use my
You
word.
translate from Italian or from?
No, from English to Polish and
Oh
from
my
Polish
goodness!
to
Oh
English.
no, you
Mixed.
should try to get Gilda, one thing that you liked a lot in class.
Do you like
Interaction,
my
videos.
professor
Carmen.
Carmen Argondizzo?
And Sayuri.
Creative,
Okay.
people creative,
Okay, that's important.
very very sympathetic, professional.
Okay. And the activities, leave but,
just a moment.
yes.
Human.
Okay, that's
Person,
an important
human.
thing. That's an important thing. Transfer
Heart.
with heart.
Yeah.
With heart. That's an
Avete
important
trasmesso con
point.
il cuore.
Something that you liked in class. The videos, the interaction, the research proposal.
Interaction because I have difficult listen and conversation.
Okay. It was very little though. In your case, you did your
I
autonomous system.
remember the Heineken advertisement.
Ah, okay.
I enjoyed
okay.
that.
We are not
Of the self-study, I enjoy to read the newspapers in the morning with my coffee.
Great.
Like
Okay.
the Guardian, New York Times, to improve
Okay.
my reading comprehension.
Okay. And I really hope that you will continue using those sources because it's important to keep practice. All right.
For me, more. English.
Okay. More. Always.
Fino alla morte.
No, no. Give us just a couple of minutes to me and Sayuri.
Number
and
one.